Hello viewers, in this video I shall try to give you a little detail about a kind of essay written by Mamang and the title of the essay is On Creation, Myth and Oral Narratives. Okay. And first, let's try to know about the writer. Mamang she is an Indian poet, novelist and journalist based in Itanagar, Andhra Pradesh, and she received Sahitya Academy Award in 2017 for her novel The Black Hill. And Mamang she was born on 23 February 1957 at Pasighat, East Siang district to Matin Dai and Odi Dai. Her family belongs to the Adi tribe. She completed her schooling from Pine Mount School, Shillong, Meghalaya, and she had completed her bachelor in English literature from Guwahati University, Assam. And she was also selected for the IAS in 1979, but later she had left the post to pursue her career in journalism. And she is the first woman from her state to be selected for IAS. And while working as a journalist, she has also contributed to the Telegraph, Hindustan Times, and the Sentinel. Apart from that, she has also worked with her work in radio as well as TV, AIR, and DDK Itanagar, and where she worked as an anchor and conducted interviews. Apart from that, she was also appointed as Program Officer at Worldwide Fund for Nature, known as WWF, where she worked in the Eastern Himalayas Biodiversity Hotspots Program, and she was the former Secretary of Itanagar Press Club. Currently, she was the President of Arunachal Pradesh Union of Working Journalists, APUW, and in 2011, she was appointed as a member of Arunachal Pradesh State Police Commission. If we talk about her non-fictional works, then it includes The Hidden Land that was published in 2003, and Dairy Farming, The Food of Arunachal 2004, The Sky Queen and Once Upon a Moontime that was published in 2003 are the illustrated folklore texts by her. She has also published her first novel called The Legends of Pensum that was published in 2006, which was followed by Stupid Cupid 2008 and The Black Hill 2014, Escaping the Land 2021, and River Poems 2004, The Balm of Time 2008, Hum Brillamais Loom that was in 2014. And Midsummer Survival Lyrics 2042, these are her well-known poetry collection. Now, let's try to know about this essay On Creation, Myth and Oral Narratives by Mamang. Now, first we have to know what is myth. You might have heard about myth, right? Now, what is myth? If I speak it plainly, then it will be myth means which is not true or which has no proper evidence to say that this thing is true. So that is kind of myth. And if we talk about literal meaning, then myth is a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people or explaining a natural or social phenomenon and typically involving supernatural beings or events. That is called myth. And if we talk about myth, then there are many myths in our own family, in our own life, and in our own culture and community, right? So that is a myth. For example, there is a myth in our family that if we tell lie, or then if we speak lie, then our this what we call legs will be shortened. So that's a kind of myth that has no concrete evidence that if you tell a lie, then your legs will be shortened. So it is a kind of example that I have tried to give you. Okay. It is also called myth is also called folktale. And now let's try to know what is oral storytelling. Oral storytelling that you might have been hearing, I think, since the time immemorial or since your birth. Because oral storytelling, it is a way of telling story where the speaker or the narrator will tell about a particular story from his own heart or mind. Okay, and that is not often written down in books or anywhere. Okay, so that's a thing called oral storytelling. And our grandfathers or grandmothers, they often use this method to teach grandchildren to be morally correct and to be sympathetic and to be emotionally intelligent. So they tell many stories to their grandchildren so that they can become a good human being. So that is also a type of storytelling, oral storytelling. Now, Mamang she has tried to depict this oral narrative or oral storytelling or myth through her many literary works, especially in the novels and in many her poetry collections. Okay, now let's try to know what is oral storytelling or oral narrative. Oral storytelling, it is an ancient and intimate tradition between the storyteller and their audience. The storyteller and the listener, they are physically close, often seated together in a circular fashion. And through the telling of the story, people become psychically close, developing a connection to one another through the communal experience. And the storyteller reveals and thus shares their self through their telling, and the listeners reveal and share themselves through their reception of the story. And The Legends of the Pensum, this I have told you that this is a novel, and here Mamang has used many oral narratives and myths to carry forward her plot and story or message. The Legends of Pensum, it was a literary work written by Mamang, and it is essentially a recounting of the myths, legends, beliefs, customs, and rituals of the Adi tribe in Arunachal Pradesh. You might have heard about Adi tribe. Okay, so if you don't know, then you please go through their lifestyle, their custom, their history to know more about them. So she belongs to that tribe, and through her novel, The Legends of Pensum, Mamang has tried to recreate those myths, legends, beliefs, customs, and rituals of Adi tribe in her novel by many characters, plots, events, occurrences, and stories. And we all know Arunachal Pradesh, it is the land of the dawn, leaf mountains to which the author belongs, and it is estimated that there are 26 tribes with a large number of sub-clans that live in Arunachal Pradesh. And the Tibeto-Burman-speaking hill tribes with their distinct dialects also live in harmony with each other in the state. And in the hidden land, the people have been leading a life of endurance and perseverance even in the extreme weather condition. Here this word is wrongly typed or printed. And this coexistence of mutual bonding is deeply ingrained in their culture. And Mamang writes in her article, Oral Narratives and the Myth, that the tribes of Arunachal Pradesh have always lived off the forest without any threat to the ecosystem. The tenets of traditional practice are deep rooted in environment ethics, supporting a close and harmonious relationship. So this is a sentence spoken or written down by the writer. Okay, this thing you can mention in your examination. Then she has also said that harmonious relationship with nature, and this is from Glimpses from the Northeast too. And all these have a long story mired in the collective memory, and recalling them becomes difficult. She has also suggested how to approach tribal myths. So she has also described in that book how to, in that essay, that how to approach a tribal myths. There are countless myths in tribal life or in tribal culture, though. But what is the correct way to approach those tribal myths, to know them, to approach them, or to spread them? That's the thing the writer is trying to say here. That how do we identify ourselves as members of a community belonging to a particular place with a particular history? Some of the science for this lie with our stories, and we are here today as a members of a community with a particular set of beliefs by an act of faith, because we believe in a world as composed in our myths and legends, right? So here the writer is trying to say that though a myth is not a really myth for the tribal people. Okay, because of the myth, the tribal people are thriving. They are surviving since time immemorial. So you cannot say that their myth is futile, it has no basis. You cannot say that, because upon those basis they have been making their lifestyle. So how can you say? And it is here that we may find the peculiar, indefinable something by which we recognize each other and make others see us as a group, as a society, as a people, a particular community. Okay, and myth making, it also recount in the fictional form, and it is a kind of myth making indicating our primitive urge for narratives in the face of demytholizing tendencies in the advent of rapid changes in our outlook and approach to life, brought about by the fascinating developments in science and technology. Human science and technology are far advanced, and our achievements in every sphere are great leaps in our capacities and skills. And it's all these developments, all achievements and pleasures human beings search for myth. So here the writer is trying to say that among all the technologically advanced lifestyles, among all the modern lifestyle, all the developments, all the achievements and pleasures, human being has its tendency to search for myths. Got it? That's why myth has its own importance. It is inevitable in our tribal life. That is, he is trying to capture or depict. Maybe, I'm not sure. I just try to say what I know, and you must do your own research. And it is often highlighted that ours is a post-human world where human capacities and capabilities are enhanced with the technological innovations. And in other words, we have to define human beings as technological beings. But then monstrosities of the modern age along the advantages often lead man into kind of become a kind of meaninglessness or a kind of absurd. In this regressive adventure, myths and legends become the threshold of wonderful wisdom and knowledge that lead humanity forward, and through which the ordinary and banal activities become quite meaningful. And set in a remote village in Arunachal Pradesh, the legends of Ensam, it also presents before us a narrator who makes a rigorous regressive journey into the myths, legends, beliefs, customs of her Adi tribe, along with her friend Mona, who is a foreigner and a proprietor of the magazine, The Diary of the World. Then they listen to oral renderings of all these myths and legends from the village elders in Duyang, Yelan, Shiram, Pigo, and Gurdam in the Siang Valley district of Arunachal Pradesh. And the narrator has even recollected some of them from her an accreted memory. Okay, all these stories of Adi belong to Pensam. In the language of Adis, the word Pensam literally means in between. So Mamang has explained what Pensam stood for in the novel. It suggested that the middle or middle ground, but it might also be interpreted as the hidden spaces of the heart where a secret garden grew. So it is the small world where anything could happen and everything could be lived, where the narrow boat that we call life sail among somehow in calm or stormy weather, where the life of a man could be measured in the span of a song. And G.S.P. Rao, who has reviewed of the novel, he wrote that in the narration, Pensam is literally the middle ground between myth and reality, governing the lives of Adis, and also the transitionary phase between the traditional and more modern ways of their life. It is quite intuitive for the members of the Adis to identify them as they are part of Pensam. The mode of rendering and the person who rendered these myths and legends are significant for the Adi. And among the Adis, the custodian of the word is the Miri. Miri means priest. So therefore, Mamang wrote their significance in her essay in the book of Understanding Tribal Religions. She says that, and the role and importance of Miri is inextricably linked with the myths and stories of the tribe, as he chants and invokes and restores all the images from the beginning of time, that offers a body of tradition that shapes our imagination and characterizes our attitudes towards certain fact and phenomenon. Thus, we find the word and the meaning of the word Miri, the great shaman of Adi, the priest, exorcist, and the preserver of the tribal myths and legends, who narrated the creation myth of Adis in the novel. So, after reading and discussing these sentences from this video, we have got to know that without myths and legends, there can be no community, there can be no tribe. And it is the same case with the Adi tribe, also of the Arunachal Pradesh, as the writer has depicted in the novel. I have forgotten the name. You have already known, so I would not try to recall it now. So that novel, the writer has depicted the importance of myths and legends. And in the beginning, there was only Kiyam, nothingness. It was neither darkness nor light, nor had it any color, shape, or movement. So Kiyam is the remote past, way beyond the reach of our senses. It is the place of ancient things from where no answer was received. Out of this place of great stillness, the first flicker of thought began to shine like a light in the soul of man. It became a simmering trail, took shape and expanded, and became the pathway. Out of this nebulous zone, a spark was born that was the light of imagination. The spark grew into shining stream that was the consciousness of man, and from all the stories of world and all its creatures came into being. So this is also a myth how art was created and what was there when art was created. So this is an integral part of tribal life and all community who respect and who embrace oral narratives and myth. And the creation of myth of the Adis is similar to other cosmological myths of ex nihilo nature. Apart from that, it has no allusion to Brahma or Prajapati, who is associated with the origin of universe in Hindu mythology. In other words, the creation myths of the Adi tribe do not have any relation to other Indian Vedic mythology. The same Saman in the novel says that all here in the world are with a purpose to fulfill their destiny. He also says that from nothingness we have come to be born under the stars and Almighty Donyo Polo, the sun and the moon. So Donyo Polo, they worship Donyo Polo, sun and the moon, the Adi people of Arunachal Pradesh, whose light shines on all equally and is the invisible force that guides each one of us. All life is light and shadow. We live and we die, and the path of destiny is the quest for fate. Okay, that's it. I would not reiterate here. Whatever I know, whatever I have found, I have tried to discuss here. So these are the references. Thank you.